Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today. Shh. We're getting our first look at the terrifying sequel to A Quiet Place, where being loud has consequences. Then, another big departure from Grey's Anatomy. Is this the beginning of the end? And it's another Jason Show staff party. And today, it's all about Mom. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Red Wing. Good morning, Olivia. And good morning, Eden Valley. And welcome to the Jason Show. Good morning to you. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another Mr. and McDonald's Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. It's Friday.
It is. It is Friday. I'm very excited.
One of my friends actually told me today is actually called Fry Gay because he is also gay. And he's like, no, this is our day. Do you ever say that?
Well, I was just at headquarters yesterday, and that's not accurate.
It's not a thing.
I was there to pick up my toasters for further recruits, and I did not know about that. So I'll check later today.
Okay, yeah, please confirm.
Today is Fry Gay?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
I'll be extra crispy gay today then. I'll just spice it up just a little bit. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. That is a new dress. It's very springy. We didn't coordinate this, but both of us have a little spring in our step.
Yeah, May. Hey.
May, I know. This is in honor of our boss, Marion Mim Davey. It's funny, I referenced her yesterday and today, and I've worked for her since I was 22 years old. And now I'm 46, so you do the math. I'm not going to do math. But we rib each other. We just have so much fun together. She's like a big sister, and we make fun of each other back and forth. And she came in today with these shoes. She looking fierce. Like she has a navy blue total outfit on and these bright yellow, they look like Crocs, but she told me they're from Italy, but they're bright yellow Croc looking things.
Oh.
And I looked at him like, what up, Donald Duck? Because it looks like Donald Duck. And we laughed. So in solidarity of my boss, I have the yellow tie today. I have in honor of Donald Duck Day.
It's a good idea after you insult your boss to then compliment them.
You know what? It balances things out. It keeps me on the air for another day.
Yep.
Hey, I have to admit when I'm wrong, and this is going to be very difficult for me. I'll go ahead and sip your tea, whatever. So you were right. I made fun of Kendall yesterday because are you a millennial or are you a Gen Zer?
I think I'm a millennial.
Yeah. No, I don't think you are.
Am I not?
No, you are. I believe you are. Yeah, you're a
know.
millennial. Anyway, you were telling me about the new Gen Z word, chuggy, meaning basic.
Well, kind of, but sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, she's already corrected me. I was getting ready to be nice to her, and this is all not going well. So I said, this is a dumb word. It's never going anywhere. It doesn't mean anything. NBC News covered it, and it was in the New York Times. So you're right. Kendall is right, everyone. I'm here to say. And I looked at the story on NBC. I fit most of the criteria. One of the very specific criteria are adults that go to Disney. I'm sorry, did I ask for that laughter? I don't think anything was funny. But you know what I'm going to say to that? I am a proud chuggy. I don't care.
You're a chug. If you are like a thing, you're a chug. Like that's.
Now I'm an annoyed chug. I was with you, and then you had to correct me again on the word.
I'm just trying to help.
I know, but I don't care. I think it's silly. I'm proud. I'm 46. I don't care.
Yeah.
I fit most of that stuff. One of them was, do you have like a T-shirt about Star Wars? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, check. But I don't care. Let them judge me.
It's okay. I think
you be you. What do we say at the end of the show, Kendall?
You go out there and be yourself, kids, because nobody's going to tell you you're doing it wrong.
Unless it's me, and then
Unless it's you.
Yeah. Anyway, Let's get started with the Chugi Hour. Roll it, Leo. Here we go. I still can barely move, so this is all you get.
Little wrist.
Still can't move. This is it. Let's get started. Time for the hot dish. Hey, roomie. Two big names are now roommates, Ellen DeGeneres and Courtney Cox. Yes, you heard that right. Ellen sold her house recently and needed a place to stay. So she moved into Courtney's place. And Ellen did a little exploring. Look at this.
I hope you don't mind, because I was just making sure, I was going through some of your drawers and cabinets last night. I was just looking for some office supplies. I'm so sorry, but I have to share what you have, because people should know who you are, Courtney. I filmed this last night.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm staying at Courtney's house. She's lovely. Of course, everyone knows she's Courtney. Lovely. Great place. I'm looking for office supplies, you know? And as you do when you're at somebody's house. So I go to this here, and there's office supplies, lots of office supplies. But look what's hidden in here. Yeah. Undies for two. I don't know what that is.
They also talked about the Friends reunion, and Courtney told Ellen fans will be surprised. I think some fans will be surprised that it's not an episode. It is a chat. It is a sit-down discussion, not a new episode of Friends. You were surprised by that.
It's like boring. It's a sit-down chat. Fireside chat, everybody.
Oh. I'm excited to see them together. Sorry, their spring dress.
Okay, well, I love the show. I just am like,
I get it, though. I understand.
I don't need another chat. I don't need a chat. I need a show,
Okay, I get it.
you know?
Next in the dish. After more than a year later than originally planned, the trailer for A Quiet Place Part 2 has been released. Look at this.
There are people out there. People worth saving.
Most people had finally given up hope.
Okay, terrifying. Yep, I'm scared. Or as my friend Alexa says, I'm scared. The original starring Emily Blunt and John Krasinski was a huge hit at the box office. It followed a family, if you didn't see the first one, who had to stay quiet or else they'd be eaten by alien monsters. A Quiet Place Part 2 will debut later this month. The premise sounds stupid. I just said that out loud and I'm like, eh. But it was actually terrifying. It's not stupid aliens, you know what I mean? It was actually more suspense than like puppet little goobers coming out. I mean, it was terrible. Did you see the first one?
No, but off of that, I want to ask you, is it kind of like Signs like that? Like I remember being so scared because it was so suspenseful in Signs.
Good comparison, kinda.
Yeah, okay.
But this is even more scary to me than Signs.
Really?
Oh yeah, there is. I'm not going to give anything away, but I'll just describe a scene. If they make a sound that triggers the alien, a character steps on a nail and tries not to scream, and you, as the viewer, you're sitting there, you're screaming for the character. Terrifying.
Isn't there a scene, because this was in like all the promos for the first one, where she's having a baby, just to be quiet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And Lord, I was not quiet when I had my baby.
Juice Newton.
Juice
let me tell
Newton.
you.
That was a very long birth, but we got a bear out of it. Next in the dish, another longtime Grey's Anatomy star will bid farewell in the series to the series in a couple weeks. Before we share the shocker with you, it's time for a spoiler alert. That's right. So you can't email us on a Friday. The latest character to be written off the show is one who's been on the series for 12 seasons. Look.
The trick is to take the people who were there for you with you, to remind you you're not alone.
It's gonna take a few days, figure out what to tell the chief. Feels weird to say Boston. Feels like I don't know.
Feels, I don't know, to me too.
Thank you.
Mommy, Daddy. I got it. You go. Get ready to go.
Yep, Dr. Jackson Avery, played by Jesse Williams, will leave officially on May 20th. The character will move to Boston to take over his family's foundation to combat inequalities in medicine. Jesse joined Grey's in season 6 back in 2009. Look, this happens whenever a season, whenever a show, and this one's been on since 2004. I can't even do the math, but
That's a lot.
That's a lot of. Whenever that happens, you're gonna have actors that want to do other things.
Right.
It shouldn't be a surprise.
No, I think, and they're always like so grateful for the opportunity,
Yes.
right, to be on a hit show like that. But eventually, I do think you'd be like, I just thought I'd be done by now.
Well, and I always try to give them credit where credit's due. I don't watch Grey's. It is really hard to keep momentum, to keep quality, to keep buzz going, much past season 5, let alone season 14, 15, 16, 17. Bravo to that team, because people still talk about it. That's why we're doing the story.
Right.
There's not a lot of shows that we would do stories about if they're in year 17 or 18, unless they've been canceled. So bravo to Shonda's team over there. It's still a good show, still getting it done. Getting her done for ABC. We're going to get her done when we come back. Right after I turned into Larry the Cable Guy. We'll be right back after these words. Stay with us. The hot dish isn't over yet. Next, the OGs strike back. Some of the biggest and most popular OG housewives return to Andy's Clubhouse to tell all. Then, we usually ask you to show us your weekends, but today, in honor of Mother's Day, you are showing and sharing your mom. And it's another Jason Show staff extravaganza where, yes, our moms are the true stars. That and more when we return.
Is it appropriate for me to wish you a happy National Nurses Day?
So here's the beauty of living in New York City, and it is appropriate, sort of, because I did represent nurses, right?
True.
And I was proud to do that. But anyway, I was walking home today, and I saw maybe 30 nurses dancing in the square right at Greenwich Street and 7th Avenue, and music blaring, and they're filming it, and they were doing this a great dance. I guess they're filming it for some NBC show. And they ended and everybody clapped. And I thought, it's National Nurses Day. I played Nurse Hathaway, and I did something I never, ever in a million years dreamed I'd ever do. I walked right into the middle of all of them and said, I'm Nurse Hathaway. I was on ER, and I represented you people. And of course, I didn't realize. I had my mask on and a straw hat because it was sunny. And then I went, oh, wait, I'm vaccinated. I've been double vaxxed. I'm vaccinated, and I took my mask off. And then they all just freaked out, and we started dancing and taking pictures, and they filmed it. And I just thought, only in New York.
Only in New York. The great Juliana Margulies with Kimmel last night. The good wife. She'll always be Alicia Florrick to me. I don't even think of ER. I think of Alicia Florrick. Sorry.
I'm just getting the visual of her running in there and everyone looking slightly confused, who's this drunk lady?
Like, who are you?
And then pulls her mask off and they're like, oh my gosh!
It's Nurse Hathaway or Alicia Florrick.
Or half of them being like, I don't remember that, but I know who you are.
And let's just say, too, how great does she look?
I mean, everything, not just her face,
Everything.
her neck, her
Everything.
décolleté. I'm like, what?
That's amazing. We were just talking. She needs another show.
Yeah.
All those networks out there, Netflix, somebody
you.
give her a show. I need her in another drama, stat. Or I need you to come back to The Good Fight. Take your pick. You have a choice.
Executive producer Jeff did not agree with the Good Fight option. Was that a groan?
No, he wants her, yeah.
Oh, that was like a
Oh, yeah.
It was not a
But let me talk to the cheap people over at CBS. The C stands for cheap because go give her some money. They tried to lowball her. They were going to get her on The Good Fight, which The Good Fight wouldn't be around without The Good Wife. And who's The Good Wife? Juliana Margulies. And she was the good wife. So you be the good network and give her the money she deserves. They offered her like $25 and an Applebee's gift card to do a guest appearance.
This show doesn't air on a CBS network, does it? Okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
We should probably check our. No. I'm just poking fun. I worked for CBS. I started at CBS. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Give her the money.
Give her the money.
Well, she deserves. Oh, what was that?
I don't know. Felt feisty. Might delete later.
We can. It's live.
Oh.
More hot dish. A bit of nostalgia last night on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live. 6 former Real Housewives from 6 different cities, including one of my favorites, our friend Jill Zarin, reunited for a throwback episode. The #1 question everyone had, would they ever return to their respective show? Look.
You was raise your hand if you were asked if you would ever return to the Housewives as a regular cast member. Raise your hand if you would consider it. Oh God, no one. Adriana, Taylor, Jay-Z, you wouldn't consider it? Okay, Phaedra's hand is up a little, maybe. Jay-Z, you wouldn't consider it?
I just want to be a friend.
You just want to be a friend?
I want to be a friend.
I'm going to say that Gretchen would say it would depend who else is on. Am I right?
That and the money. If
and the
there's
money.
Good money, then yes.
Okay.
The former Housewives included, you just saw Andy talking to her, Gretchen from OC, our friend Jill Zarin from New York, Phaedra from Atlanta, Jacqueline from Jersey, Taylor, haven't seen her in a while. She was an original on Beverly Hills, and Adriana from Miami. Jill, I love you. Hope to have her back. She has great masks. She really does. Jeff's wearing one right now. ... She would come back. Come on.
Yeah.
Jill would be back in a Miami minute. She knows it.
What what's odd about that too? Like, we talk about the show a lot, and I have to ask you a lot of questions about the people on it.
I love that.
I recognize all those women because that's when I used to watch the shows. Was a lot of the original people. So I know Gretchen and Jacqueline and Phaedra, and and I don't know anyone.
I'm glad you recognize Phaedra. I didn't recognize Phaedra in that clip.
I know. She looked fierce, y'all.
She looked that's not a bust.
No,
that's
but she
you
does
look
look
amazing. Leaving Housewives has done really good things for you.
I thought Jacqueline looked better too. Like, she looked great.
And if I was Andy, I would get Jill back. I told you, New York needs a 6th housewife.
They do.
It's boring. The season premiere was horrible. I'd rather go camping.
We could arrange that.
No, we're not.
I'm going next weekend.
No. Are you?
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Yeah,
Sporty
same.
Spice. Next in the dish, one of NBC's late night shows will sign off the air for good soon. After just 2 years on the air, Lily Singh's run as a late night host is ending. Did I say sing? I said sigh, yeah. She's a host of A Little Late. If you haven't heard of the show, that's because it airs at 12:35 after Seth Meyers. Lily replaced Carson Daly's show Last Call. She became one of the few women in late night. So that's a feat right there. She signed a first look producing deal with NBC Universal and will develop unscripted projects. Meanwhile, the Peacock is likely trying to rethink that time slot. Look, do you dump a lot of money into that when there's 7 insomniacs watching? Right. I don't. If I'm NBC, is that where you put your money? I don't know. Right. I mean, Carson Daly had that show for decades. Then Bob Costas had it for a while, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd probably just do as well, just re-airing late night, because then it is normally late night, then Seth Meyers show, and then you could do another.
Well, it's Tonight Show, Seth Meyers, and then.
Yes, so you could just do the Tonight Show again, like 2 hours later.
Yeah, just rerun it just rerun it, or put reruns of other NBC shows on there.
Right.
I wouldn't waste. Yeah, that's not where you want to put your budget. If I'm the network, I would make the same call. Next in the dish, he's one of the more controversial hosts on SNL in recent years. Elon Musk will host tomorrow night show, and NBC released this tease. Let's look at this.
Hi, I'm Elon Musk, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest Miley Cyrus. And I'm a wild card, so there's no telling what I might do.
Same here. Rules, no thanks.
But it's also the Mother's Day show, so your moms aren't going to be here.
Forget what I said.
Fine, we'll be good-ish. Hi, I'm Elon Musk, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest Miley Cyrus.
What's new with you, Elon?
I just did a successful rocket launch this week.
Wow. Well, I did my laundry.
Congrats.
Actually, no, I didn't.
By the way, my boss's shoes can be seen from the SpaceX ship.
I am saying absolutely nothing. I like Mim's shoes a lot. I like anything Mim does.
Coming Monday, the Kindle Show. Miley will be the musical guest. Several SNL cast members threw shade after SNL announced Elon as host. You know what? He could be funnier than we all think.
I mean, that was a little awkward. I'm not going to...
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a horrible tease. But I'm saying I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you can't be any worse than Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal probably, just go to the YouTube, kids, the worst SNL, him and the Justin Bieber the first time. Oh.
I think I stand by Miley is funny. So they'll
Miley's
probably
great.
throw her in a bunch of bits they normally wouldn't have the musical guest on.
Yeah.
I would assume. And I think we'll just see.
We'll see. And then we will review. We'll either love it on Monday or we will shred it to pieces.
Bits and pieces, girl.
Bits and pieces on Monday's Hot Dish. Mother's Day is Sunday, and the rest of the show coming up in a little bit is going to be dedicated to moms. On the Jason Show Facebook page this week, we asked you, we ask you usually to show us your weekend or show us your pet peeves. Well, we asked you to show us your mom and tell us what makes her so special. Here's a few of them. First up, Andrea calls her mom, Laura, the best mom you could ask for. She'll do anything for you, from helping with a house remodel to caring for our dog. Andrea says she'll be the best grandma to our baby due this September. Congratulations. Anne, meanwhile, shared this picture of her mom, Cheryl, going on a log shoot at Nickelodeon Universe. She says her mom is generous, fun, and again will do anything for her kids and grandkids. Christina shared a family photo with her grandma, mom, and siblings, calling her mom awesome and kind-hearted and always there when you need it. Allie says her mom is always fun and goofy, I know that, like my mom, and cared deeply about every person she meets. Sherry says her mom, Phyllis, is always there for her family. She is a survivor of breast cancer. I love you, Phyllis. Diana got the chance to take a picture of her mom and grandma a few weeks ago. She says they are both great examples of strong, hardworking, and kind women. Christina says her mom is everything you want in a mom and grandma, always supportive and there in a moment's notice, even though she lives hours away. Linda loves her mom immensely, always there to help out. She's been a wonderful role model as a mother for my sister and me. Diana says her mom is one of her best friends to this day. She was a single parent her whole life and worked nights so she could be with me during the day while an aunt cared for her at night. She says her mom helped her live her dreams. Katie shared a picture with her mom in the audience of our show. She's hoping to do it again soon. So do we, sweetie. And Sherry posted this pic of her mom, Donna. Even though they live hours away, her mom still checks up on her and takes care of her, even sending her a get well card and a little cash after getting her second vaccination. So sweet. We got so many of those. Obviously, we couldn't fit in all, and we got so many great ones. You guys should go take a look on the show Facebook page. So many people remembering moms that have passed. Great memories and memorials to them, to all the moms and grandmas who are moms. Moms of all types were celebrated on the page, and I love seeing that. So go take a look at it if you haven't. So
yeah, I love all the little stories. They're so sweet.
They're so great. We're going to take a break because our mom celebration continues. Or actually, yeah, it does continue after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. It really is the day to give back to all of our moms for all they do. Mother's Day is Sunday, and the rest of this hour, we're going to pay tribute to all the moms out there with some great stories about, well, our moms. Joining me is the Jason Show team. Please say hello to our stars. It is producer Ted, executive producer Jeff, and of course, Kendall. Good morning, stars.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would wave to you, but I can't move. So we're going to have a lot of fun this hour. I'm going to go first. You know, if you're a longtime watcher of the show, you know Dar, the Dar. I was telling the crew, the problem with everyone knowing Dar is I've told most of the best stories. Not all of them, but most of them. But here is a story that I usually tell when we have a studio audience, because when we do a Q&A, this audience sticks around and I tell behind the scenes story that I normally can't tell. This one is about our national launch. A few years ago during the summer, Fox decided to give a little national test to the Jason Show. So the day of the launch, which as you can imagine was a big thing for me, my family flew in. To my surprise, my mom flew in the DAR. I didn't know about it. So then Colin called Jeff and Ted, or at the time, Jeff and Carl, and said, hey, I don't know if you want to use her in any way, but we're flying in DAR. If you want to use her for the premiere of the national launch. So they told the guys, and we had, the company flew in a producer, an overarching producer that we didn't really know. I'll just call her the general. The general. And she flew in, she was here, and she was in charge of everything. She was all of our bosses. And let's just say, it was difficult at times. So Jeff told her that Colin was flying in DAR, and she looked at Jeff, and I'm almost paraphrasing, and she said, nobody cares about his mom. They don't even care about him yet. So let's not use her. And so this story about DAR is actually also a compliment to Jeff being a great executive producer, because Jeff knows good television and knows what makes a good TV. Jeff stood up. We barely knew the general. Jeff stood up to her and said, no, we're going to do this because who doesn't like a guy that loves his mom? And Jeff's instincts were right, because DAR comes out, I'm boo-hooing, she's boo-hooing, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but to this day, that clip remains one of our most watched. Am I right on that?
Yeah, if you look at Facebook, YouTube, everything.
If you look at everything, DAR's surprise several years ago was one of the biggest things ever. And it was, and my mom, and here's some older pictures. This is us like 97, 98. When I was in my, I don't know, I was 50. DAR never changes. Of course, my mother's wearing an Oprah Winfrey Show sweatshirt.
Did you steal that from her?
What?
Did you steal that from her?
No, I gave that to her.
Well, you have one too.
I have one just like that, yeah.
Okay.
We have matching ones. And then, of course, you guys, if you watch, you've seen this one. This is probably my favorite photo of us, period. This is my mom on my wedding day. And, yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that one makes me cry, so let's not put that one up too long.
I'm crying.
Yeah, and I'll just, and I'm going to end. I told Jeff I have a dishy one, and I'll end on, because I know I think you're going to do it.
Before you move on,
yeah.
Do you remember what your words were when you were surprised on air?
No.
She walks out, and you're like, what are you doing here? I'll never forget that.
Oh, I did say that. I know.
So surprised.
Like, what are you doing here? Because she came out from right back there. I mean, the desk was over there at the time. And she came out behind me, and I'm like, what? I hadn't seen her in about a year and a half. Like, what are you doing here? Yeah, you're right, Jeff. I do remember that.
I'm working on my book about that experience.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Jeff tells me that's the tip of the iceberg of stories about the Jason Show national test. Yeah, we can make a whole HBO series.
It was great the second year.
It was great the second year, yeah. So I'll end. So there's the dishy story about DAR. I know some of us, I don't know who, I think Kendall, maybe life lesson, Ted maybe. Here's the life lesson that my mom, among many that my mom taught me. I get a lot of grief for being an only child. All only children get grief for being spoiled. And I'm not going to deny that, I really never wanted for anything. My mom treated me very well. And but the thing that I admire the most about my mom, and I'm so grateful that I had my mom as a mom, is I'll never forget, and we had this conversation many times, but there's one time in particular, we were driving down a road. It doesn't mean anything to you, but we're driving down Paz Road in Michigan City, Indiana, and I was probably about 10 or 11, and we were at a stoplight, and my mom looked at me and she goes, "Don't be cheap." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "I don't want you to grow up and be cheap." She goes, "I want you to be generous." And she goes, "So if you have something, share it." And she goes, "Don't be cheap." And then she told me that. So, to this day, that sticks with me that, I'm very lucky, I'm very blessed in many, many, many ways. And I do try to, I love picking up the bill. I love, getting people things. It makes me happy. And I'm so glad that my mom taught me that and taught me good manners. And I look at it as a blessing. I don't look at it as a bad thing that my dad and I weren't close, because if the universe had treated me differently, my mother wouldn't have had the role in my life that she had, and I wouldn't have her sensibilities, and I wouldn't have her heart. So I never look at it as a mistake that my dad was kind of embarrassed of me. It was a gift from God, because I have all of my mom's best traits. And some of, I'm loony like my mom is. We're both we're sometimes a slice short of a loaf, right, Mom? But I love you.
And because you're not cheap, that's why we like to go out to eat with you.
What?
And we're really excited because you told us yesterday that you're taking us all to Disney. So we're very thankful for her.
We're ready.
Did I do that? That must be the cane meds I'm on because of the injury. Yeah, no. But I love you, Mom. I love you, Dar. And she doesn't know this yet, but I'm taking her out today to a casual meal, her first one since the pandemic. So surprise, Mom, she's watching now. So get your best leisure clothes, Mom. It's casual. Don't worry about it. You can keep your hat on. I love you. Okay, we're just getting started. When we come back, Kendall, Jeff, and Ted will share their mom memories and mom lessons right after this. Back in a moment. Our tchotchke shelf. We're having so much fun today. I love this. Welcome back to our tribute to our moms ahead of Mother's Day on Sunday. And our dear leader is next. Executive producer Jeff.
Okay, my mom, the one thing I always liked about my mom is that she was a teacher. So she always corrected my grammar all the time to make sure that I was saying the correct thing. I think here's a picture of my mom and my dad, both retired educators. So my story is one that my mom loves to tell family members, strangers, people on the street. It is the night that I was left after my junior high choir concert alone in the school, even though I was in both of their cars at one time or another. Okay?
Wait a minute.
I'll explain it.
Okay.
Let's go back to me when I was 15. Leo, next picture. Okay.
Wow, you produced this up, Jeff.
First, check out my hair. I had sun in my hair. That was me at 15.
Wait, which one are you? Are you sitting down?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Pink shorts. Okay.
Okay.
So a few years before that, this was like probably 88 or 89. I was in 8th grade. Leo, let's go to the map. Here's my junior high school in Okabena, Minnesota, right? Now, everyone look, and the green is the back entrance. I rode with my dad to my junior high choir concert in the back entrance, right?
Okay.
We parked, we go to the choir. Meanwhile, my mom came from work and she parked in the red, in the main entrance.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
Concert's over. I go to my mom's car, because my dad was superintendent, so I thought, he probably has to stay and, hobnob or whatever. So I go to my mom's car in the red and I go, I'm gonna go home with you. And she goes, no, you better go home with your dad because you came with your dad, right? So I get out of my mom's car, I go back through the school, I go to the back entrance. I get in the car with my dad. He's like, he goes, if your mom's here, he goes, why don't you just go home with her? So I get out, I go back through the school, I go to the main entrance, to the red car. Well, guess what?
It's gone.
My mom had left.
No!
So I go back through the school, to the back entrance. Guess what?
Your dad's gone.
My dad left. So I'm 3 miles from home. I'm from Heron Lake, which is 3 miles away from Okabena. So it's like, late at night, not late, 9 o'clock. Well, I see the janitor who lived near me in Heron Lake, Mr. Garut. And I said, I think my parents accidentally left me here. Can you give me a ride home? He's like, no problem. So I get in his car, we drive home. I get home, I walk in the door, and my mom's home, and I go, I got a ride with the janitor. And she goes, well, where's your dad? And I go, well, what do you mean? She goes, well, he went back to get you.
No!
So while I was driving home on a 2-lane highway with the janitor, my dad was crossing us, going back to the school in Okabena to get me. And he didn't get back until a few minutes later when he realized. Remember, this is before cell phones. Cell phones didn't exist back in '88. So yeah, that's the story when it was pretty funny.
Your dad eventually...
He came home. I don't think he was very happy, but...
No.
Oh well.
What do you mind? I don't mean to put you on the spot. I probably should have told you I was going to ask you this in our meeting, but is there a piece of advice, because your mom and dad are educators, is there a good piece of advice that your mom and dad kind of...
Well, my mom, she was a great typist. Like, she taught me how to type on a keyboard. She used to have competitions with our music teacher about who could type the fastest.
Yeah.
So if you notice I type really fast and loud, that's because of growing up with my parents when they would type. Advice-wise, I think just don't leave everything till the last minute. I tend to be a procrastinator.
Yeah.
With studying or reading books, that kind of thing. So
that's a good one. You and I are similar in that.
don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Was that diagram of your high school to scale?
It was not. I made that on Photoshop yesterday.
And by the way, Ted, did you notice? Not bug safe. Not bug safe.
Don't tell
Ted.
Lori.
I know. Executive producer Lori is going to give us a demerit.
Don't talk about Lori.
Yeah. Ex-nay on the Orilay. Yes. Okay, so you heard Jeff's. Now, are we going to take a break right now? Okay. Thank you for... They time me even when we're on television. We're going to take a break. Wrap it up. When we come back, it's Ted and Kendall after this. I had to think about who's left. Welcome back to the show. Our Mother's Day tribute to our moms, which I'm sure resonates. All these stories, everyone watching, you all have similar ones. Let's go to Kendall.
Hello. Yeah, so I know Mother's Day it's hard to think about your mom and like one memory or one thing
It's
about
hard.
them,
Yeah.
right? But when I was thinking about it, my most distinct memory of my mom was back when I was a little kid. So my mom was a flight attendant before she was a children's librarian for a really long time, for about 30 years. And so she would be gone on these 3 to 5 day trips for a lot of my adolescence. So I missed her so much when she would be gone. And I remember sometimes she'd get home early and it would be a surprise. And I got home one day off the school bus, went inside, and my mom was standing there, and there was in the foyer, and I could see her through the kitchen, and there was some sunlight coming behind her. And I just so distinctly remember thinking, my mom is the most beautiful woman in the whole world, and like running up and hugging her. And she smelled like my mom, and just like crying. So I was so happy to see. I just loved her, and I thought she was just, I still do.
angel.
Yeah, I still do. This is my mom this summer up north at one of our favorite places. But so that's, for whatever reason, the most distinct memory I have of my mother. But when I think about, this is our wedding, this is our friend Howie, not my brother, not my husband, this is our friend Howie, who she wanted to walk her down the aisle. So my dad did the wedding. Me and my mom in our old house, when I was a little baby, I looked just like her. But when I think about what lessons she's taught me, I think the biggest thing were 3 things that stood out for me. It was kindness. My mom was just the biggest proponent of when you see the kid that no one is hanging out with, that no one's sitting by, if someone's laughing at someone and you know it's wrong, you stand up for them, you be kind, you be a good person. And just approaching every situation from a place of kindness and goodness. 2, always look your best. Feel your best, look your best. If you have people over, bring the china out. You know, like if it's a Friday night, make the fun fancy cocktail. If you're going out for drinks, wear your pearls, girl.
Yeah.
Like we dressed up for the airplane. We always like look good. You know, just because you look good, you feel good. And the last one I think was just you can do anything. Like every parent has something in your life that you think of, and with her, it truly was giving all of us girls the tools to do whatever we wanted, and then truly be like, no, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You have been given all the tools in the playbook. You got it, girl. And I think that I truly believe I can do anything because of my mother. And so it's just one of those like, shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon type of things. And
Yeah. Made you feel limitless, like your opportunities were limitless.
Totally, to this day, you know?
No,
So-
don't take no.
No, don't take no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. That's
And
all.
well,
I guess, I'm sorry, 48 was for me. Ted has plenty of time.
yeah, Ted. No, I love that. No, your mom. That's and you did, didn't you? Before we get to Ted.
Yeah.
And you did do that, didn't you? I mean, you did protect. You did sit by the kids that no one else wanted to sit by. That
Yeah,
wasn't
I mean, and I try to this day, to just like be nice and always be there and stand up for people and like do the right thing. I'm not perfect, but
No.
like I really do try to do that. And that's because she was like you're going to be the nice person. You're
Yeah.
going to be the nice girl.
You're gonna
Even if
sit-
it makes you unpopular, you're going to
Yep.
be the nice person.
You're gonna sit by you sit by Ted at our meetings all the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very kind.
I sit by Ted and Juice Newton.
That's right. Okay, Ted, you're taking us home. Take us home, Ted.
Well, over the course of this show, my mom has sent me different talking points.
Did she really?
Yes. But I'll get to that if I have time in the story.
Yeah.
So, okay. So there's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, I'm really happy I didn't wear that shirt today. So, anywho, okay, so this is my mom's best advice and my mom's worst advice, and they all happened within like 10 seconds of each other. So I was in so one of my girlfriends, well, let's call her Lydia, okay?
Lydia.
So it was like right after college, and Lydia was a little bit much. And no one really liked her. So, but she had like a weird power over me. And we were like living in opposite ends of the country. So I just couldn't end it because I was just like, oh my gosh, she's gonna like do something or whatever. So I'm just like complaining about Lydia, and my mom had had enough at this point. And so my mom was like, but here's the best advice. She was like, you need to be a man and end it. And I was like, oh, she doesn't talk that way usually.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, this is how you do it. And this was her worst advice. She's like, call her up. Lydia, it's over. Click. And I was like, I don't think that's going to work.
Did it work?
No. It was multiple phone calls, multiple negotiations, and then Lydia agreed to
a separation,
a mutual parting of ways, even though it was nowhere near mutual.
But in your mom's defense, her advice actually was right, because it would have been just great to just break it off.
And to this day, she'd probably be like, yeah, what's wrong with that?
Now, I do want to hear a couple of the points. We have about a minute left, but I do want to ask one follow-up question, if I'm allowed. How long did you and Lydia go out?
That was about 1.5 years, 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It was a while. Okay, so here's my mom's talking points.
Okay.
Your mom is tolerant of picky eaters.
Ooh,
yes.
We know that.
Yes.
Flexible and strong.
Yes.
And then 2 years ago, she survived brain tumor surgery. So,
wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, Mom.
I mean, seriously.
Good talking points.
I mean, bravo for the talking points. Out of all 4 of our moms, I kind of expected Dar to be giving me bullet points, and there is no text messages from Dar.
Mine got photo approval, so.
Oh, yours got photo approval?
Yeah, it was a process.
I don't think Sid even knows this is happening. She'll
She
find out
doesn't-
in 2 hours when she watches the show.
Oh, she didn't know, yeah. Dar knew that I'd do good photos, but yeah, I didn't give her photo approval. That's good. I didn't know that was allowed. Anyway, give it up for Kendall, producer Ted, and executive producer Jeff, and to all of our moms. We're going to take a break. We're going to wrap things up on this Friday. Coming up in a little bit. Stay with us. Juice Newton.
Your child.
My child, basically. This is as close as I'm going to get. Don't forget to sign up to be a part of our virtual audience. Here's how you do it. Go to the Jason Show Facebook page. Click the link that we posted. Sign up for a certain day, and you'll be part of the show. Am I allowed to say that now? Can I say it? Let's just say, very soon, I don't have a specific date, if you sign up to be in the virtual audience and you show up, you may get a very special one of these. Not this one.
No, that's gross.
I literally just approved the design moments ago. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everyone. Well, I spoke too soon. Just received a text message from Nadar. She writes, luckily for you, the photos weren't bad. I told Ryan where she's at. Told Ryan if you showed any horrible ones, I was putting you up for adoption. There we go.
You're out of the will.
Yeah. This is the thing about Dar, too. And this is a great parting word. I don't know any other woman that can survive what my mother has survived the last 14 months.
Amen.
more loss than a human being should have in 5 years. My mother has persevered. She still smiles. We still laugh. I mean, that's strength right there. So, yep. Monday on the Jason Show, she's back. The woman behind the Minnesota Salads TikTok page returns live. I can't wait. Amber reveals her latest salads only Minnesotans will understand. And our Wisconsin friends. That's Monday. That's going to do it for us. Go have a great Mother's Day to all of you moms out there. I love you. And if you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because, no one can tell you you're doing it wrong. We'll see you back here on